Do you know women date? Women date the same men all over again. It's literally that's why you say men ain't nothing. No, you dated the same type of man. He just looked different.
So I was like, finally somebody that agrees, because it's with baby mama culture, it's rampant, and I see it all the time on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram. It's like so many people, they would just rather be a baby mama instead of being a wife. So since you're married, why not have an interview with a married Black woman so that you can share why you got married, what led up to the marriage, what did you see in your husband that made you want to get married? Because it's like, I'm from the South too, so it's like we believe in marriage, family, and commitment. The first question I wanted to ask is, what does marriage mean to you?
Okay, marriage actually means a lot because I grew up in the church. My grandmother was very strict. She had us in the church, and she always taught me that marriage is a covenant between three people: God, the man, and the woman. A God-fearing marriage creates strong followers of God, which creates the next generation of believers. So that's what she always told me, to get married. Like, I did have my son out of wedlock with my husband, but he grew up in church too, and he knew, like, no, we're getting married.
Yep.
So we were like, yeah, we're getting married before we even have more children, because I'm currently pregnant right now. I have my second child in September.
So congratulations.
Thank you. So we got married, and then we are now on our second child. Our first child is 5. So yeah. So now, that's what happens. And because there will be a time where it's not going to be illegal to go to church, but it's going to be, a lot of Christians get a lot of criticism because they don't agree with things that are going on in the world. So it's going to be, you're going to get canceled if you speak about God. So that's why I was like, people should get together more so we train our children for the next generation to keep the Christian legacy going. So so it won't disappear in the Western world.
Because that's very important, is because marriage is essential, because it builds that foundation that person that wasn't married versus the person that was married. So it's like, if you aren't married, you're not going to know what marriage is like. So you're going to think marriage is weird and marriage is something bad. I don't need marriage. But it's like, on the other side, if you grow up in families of marriage, like my parents are married, my grandparents are married, my aunts and uncles are married. So it's like, of course, when you're around marriage, you're going to want to be married because you grew up in that stable lifestyle.
Correct.
What made you decide to get married? Like, what was the determining factor that made you say, you know what, I'm ready to get married?
Okay, so I was just like all the women you see online, like partying. Well, I didn't take life serious until I dated somebody that was really crazy, and it kind of woke me up. And I was like, nah, what if I would have had a child by him? What if this would have ended up being my daddy? And I was like, no. So that's when I got tired of running from my duty that, God gives every woman a duty to be a teacher for her children and to be a wife. So I started to read more, listen to sermons, and understand why are women on earth and why we should get married. Because, and another thing, I learned that casual sex leads to destruction.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the consequences of sin equals death, but people think you're gonna die. No, it's spiritual death. It's not you die off the earth. It's spiritual death. You become weaker and start following into the world when you continue to do things that are against God. So yeah, God humbled me, and I ended up with a older man that was very understanding.
Because I believe in family, and family is very important. So, do you come from a family that believes in marriage, or how was your family growing up, and what were their beliefs that they passed on to you about God, family, and marriage?
Okay, like my grandmother, yes, I believe in marriage because my grandmother is strict. She was married, and my parents are married. They got a divorce when I was a teenager, but still, I still saw the family unit. My mother and father had 5 kids together, so yeah, they 5 girls, and yeah, so yeah, it's just that my grandmother just always taught me. She always made me look at the world like picture view of back in the day. At the end of the day, all these women talking about, oh my gosh, it's hard to work, it's hard to do this. Back in the day, us going to work, going to 9 to 5 and coming home to cook, what they did back in the day was worse. They had to tend to a garden, they had to iron clothes, they really were. That's what I'm saying. So she was like, y'all shouldn't be complaining. Y'all have it way better than we did.
Right.
When you sit and think about it, you become more grateful. Yeah, it's beautiful. I have nothing against women that go to work, but I was just saying, working a 9 to 5, it is hard, but still, it's way better than what they used to have to do back in the day.
Yeah.
Skin chicken, go to the garden, everything while the husband was at home. So that's why they had a lot of children to help them at the house. But more people today don't believe in big families. But yeah, that's what she always taught me. Like, a woman is not supposed to be lazy. A woman is supposed to make a man stronger, and the man is supposed to lead the woman. So I was like, I think I want a leader. That's good. That sounds pretty cool. It's better than dealing with different men, having to beg them for money, bills and stuff like that. So I was like, I'd rather deal with this one man that not get on my nerves, but I can adjust to him. I'd rather adjust to him than adjust to 5 men that I have to talk to like me, date, and all that stuff like that. I just want to be one person. I'm too simple, so I don't like getting headaches. So I just wanted to be with one man. Never thought I'd be like that though. I never thought I'd be like that because I used to grow up listening to vulgar music, thinking that what they were doing on TV was normal. But I thought back, like, this is real life. I would never live like them. So let me step into reality.
Right. And that's essential, because what I always tell women on my videos is that it's important to vet a man properly and make sure he's the right person for you, because what people typically do is they go for what feels good, or they go for what looks good, or the illusion of what looks good, and then they always end up with the same story, like
and the same man. Do you know women date the same man, men all over again. It's literally that's why you say men ain't nothing. No, you dated the same type of man. He just looked different. That's basically what it is. It's not rocket science.
Right, exactly. And then what was the best advice that your family gave you?
Well, my grandma always told me, keep people out your business. Others are ready for each of y'all in the relationship to mess up so they can get a chance with you. Like, when you get married, it seems like the temptation gets worse. More people want you to cheat on your husband. More people want you to cheat on your wife. That's when the real test starts, when you make that covenant between you, your spouse, and God. So that's why she was like, keep people out your business, because like if I get into an argument with my husband, I don't go and tell another man what my husband did, because some men will use it to turn you against your husband. Then you be like, oh, I wish my husband was like you. And that's how all the sin starts in a marriage. So that's why I was like, that's the best advice. The devil is busy, like, and avoid lust. A lot of people be like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to cheat on my wife. But why you put yourself in this situation to cheat? That's the way a lot of people. A lot of people ignore their conscience instead of just saying, let me just not go here so I can avoid this. Yeah, I had to teach myself that before I got married because I'm way younger than my husband. So I had to stay away from certain people that are my age that tempt me to just stay out late, drink, or do things I'm not supposed to do as a married woman.